Over time, saturation happened. It was hard to get your message out. It went from being a pure organic play to more of a pay-for-play kind of model, right? In which you have to boost, you have to advertise to get to the right people.
Small businesses, they don't have to use all platforms or channels. Pick one or two, stick to them, right? And then use community voices, connecting with your audiences.
In 2026, capturing market or voter attention requires moving past vanity algorithmic impressions to install data-driven conversion funnels.
Every company wants to have top fans. Every company wants to have people who support their product and their business. So if you're a small business, even if you're starting out, build a community and the customers will come.
Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Today we are breaking down the advanced structural mechanics of high-precision micro-targeting, digital public engagement architecture, and scaling lean agency operations within hyper-competitive communication spaces. In 2026, capturing market or voter attention requires moving past vanity algorithmic impressions to install data-driven conversion funnels, hyper-localized narrative strategies, and secure audience retention frameworks. Joining us are two elite digital pioneers from EOK Consults. Harneet Singh is the founder and managing principal, a designated chartered marketer who has led more than 100 high-profile federal, provincial, and municipal campaigns across Canada. Welcome cementing his reputation as a national media authority on voter engagement. Divya Singh is the Director of Growth and Operations, bringing a powerhouse enterprise background from corporate leaders like OpenText, Scotiabank, and TD to the systematically scale agencies' pipeline development, client success workflows, and non-profit digital solutions. So before further ado, let's welcome these two very special guests. Harneet, Divya, welcome to the podcast. Such a pleasure to have you with us.
It's great to be here.
Now, Harneet, the digital communication landscape has completely shifted over the last decade, right? Moving away from broad, organic social media blasts to hyper-fragmented pay-to-play ecosystem. So let's start the conversation by understanding how has digital public outreach changed over the past decade, and what mistakes do leaders still make online that you see?
I think it's completely transformed. If you look at 10 years from now, from today, it was organic was the game changer. There was a lot of new platforms coming. People were getting on them, and everybody thought, okay, if I post 20 times or 15 times, I'm going to get 1,000 followers. If I use hashtags, I'm going to get a lot of followers. So organic media truly ruled at that point when platforms were new. Over time, saturation happened. It was hard to get your message out. It was pretty noisy. You had a lot of bot accounts and a lot of not so real accounts come on the platforms. Companies started to come on those platforms. So over time, as you rightly mentioned, it went from being a pure organic play to more of a pay-for-play kind of model, right? In which you have to boost, you have to advertise to get to the right people. So that was one big change. The other change I would say is the amount of platforms available, right? When we started, there was a few platforms. You learn Facebook, you know a little bit about Google Ads, and you can start digital marketing. Now you're looking at, every day there's a new platform, and every day people are trying to launch TikTok videos and Snapchat videos, and the plethora of opportunities available to people to advertise. Now you have connected TV. People are advertising when you're watching a Netflix show. So the opportunities are immense. It is a noisy place.
Yeah.
So that's happening. In terms of your last question about the mistakes people are making, I think people are forgetting that scaling matters, but authenticity is the most important thing. So when in the interest of trying to do things fast, people sometimes lose the authenticity of things,
Right.
and they try to kind of make up things. So it's going to be a problem. And I think the other problem, which is going to be a huge one, will be AI created content. When more AI
How to
content,
get on that, yeah.
when more AI content comes, how do you differentiate between what is real and what is not?
Yeah.
And do you consider it to be a slop, or do you consider it to be efficiency? So I think the space is just getting more competitive, and as you said, it's going to be a pay for play market.
Definitely very well articulated. And I feel there's so much noise right now that the human element is just going to grow more and more, right? Now, let's explore how smaller organizations can compete effectively with limited marketing resources. So, now coming to you, Divya, how can small, resource constrained organizations effectively compete for online engagement without huge budgets? Specifically, because when you're starting out, usually you are counting every dollar that is coming out of your pocket. So, with keeping that in mind, what do you suggest?
So I believe when it comes to small businesses or smaller organizations, staying focused is key. So in the world of algorithms entering digital media, being consistent is really key. So understanding their audiences, right? And staying focused on them, connecting with your audience is really key here. So storytelling, you have to break down your product. Nobody understands complex things. And we see a lot of times, right? Like on different channels, different platforms, how, small companies, like we haven't even heard the names, like not bigger brands, are able to connect because they understand their audiences, what they want, and they break down their complex product or services to connect with them, right? So I would say the key here is that small businesses, they don't have to use all platforms or channels. Pick one or two, stick to them, right? And then use community voices. So, as you may have heard, and they say that creative eats strategy for breakfast. What that really means is, again, connecting with your audiences, right? Understanding them.
Beautifully answered as well. I think you mentioned a very important point there, storytelling. As humans, we often, get so focused in the data sheets and the numbers that we often forget about this emotional storytelling aspect to it. So that's a great addition. Now, let's discuss how strong partnerships can drive collaborations across diverse stakeholder groups. So, Harneet, what inspired the next campaign summit and municipal masterclass, and what lessons did you learn running them? I can vouch for that. We were the media partners as well, and it was just so well organized and so well put together. So, firstly, a huge congratulations. And secondly, what's the secret sauce for doing all of this?
I think understanding the need for that thing, there was a huge gap, right? I mean, if you look at any industry, there's a lot of people who know a lot of things. They're very smart at what they do, but they not often get the opportunity to share with others in the same industry. A lot of times, when you look at campaigns or the business of politics, it appears that we're all competing with each other, but in reality, we are not. The job is to uplift the industry, the job is to learn from others. I may think that I know a thing or two, but I might learn five things from you. But if I don't have the opportunity to meet you and learn from you, then I'm not getting that exposure. So we felt that every day when we were doing it. And as you mentioned that we were a smaller agency trying to come up, we always felt that we know a lot of things about what we do, but we don't know what other people are doing. If you look at the world of sports, you have people play for their own countries, but they often play for big professional leagues. When they play for professional leagues, you have the opportunity to bring people from different teams together. Doesn't that make the sport better? Like, doesn't football benefit from having the European League and the English Premier League? Doesn't India benefit from having the Indian Premier League, right? It benefits. So I think the same thing, we felt there was a gap in the market. And we said, okay, if nobody else is bringing people together, we will bring them together. So next campaign summit was that idea that me and two other co-founders had, that we will bring together people across party lines, people across the domain of politics together under one roof. Municipal Masterclass was just an extension of that. For us, Municipal Masterclass, especially as a company that focuses on the municipal world of politics, there's no other platform for people to come together when it comes to that politics. It's also local, also siloed.
Right.
And we were like, okay, we know a lot of people across different regions. We can invite our friends and customers and other people to come together and share with the others. And I think that's exactly what turned out. We had more than 200 people show up for that event, completely sold out. And everybody who participated said they got more confidence for their campaign. And that was literally the only intention we had. So I think just understanding the need as entrepreneurs and then trying to fill it is what led to those events.
Wow, I think they were again so well put together. If you guys are so passionate about what you do, is business, politics something that you were interested in even as a kid, or did you stumble upon this in your career later on?
I mean, I think I can speak for myself at least first that we were always passionate about politics in terms of how it operates, the geopolitical world, and looking at countries and what the decisions they're making. So that was there. My education and my degrees and my professional certifications are marketing. What better way to be an entrepreneur when you can bring those two things together?
Exactly.
So not everybody has a chance to live their dream like that. So very blessed that we are able to have that opportunity. And again, for Divya as well, I don't want to speak for her, but she has all the enterprise experience. And if you want to grow an agency, you need that to grow your sales. So
Right.
that's why she's doing it.
So Divya, from a corporate background, what was the biggest, challenge or the beautiful thing that you found about running your own organization eventually?
So I've always worked like before this for enterprise organizations, right? Where there are like big teams for everything, and you connect with them, work
Exactly.
alongside them, right? And sometimes I feel like when there is an idea, right? When you're a small agency, a small business, you don't have to wait on approvals and stuff, and you just get going, right? And you execute so fast before somebody else does. Right? Because a lot of times you feel, oh, I had an idea and hey, it's gone. Boom, right? Because the world is not stopping for you, right? And what if somebody else gets it, executes it? It's your loss, right?
It's gone, right?
It's gone right away. So I feel that is big. But yeah, what I learned mainly from that, from enterprise, and bringing it here is the discipline in process, right? So picking and understanding what works for you and doing that consistently, day in, day out, right? Sticking to that and believing in yourself, right? Believing in the people, the team you're working with, that we are gonna achieve this, right? So as for, we have like so many goals as a company. So staying focused, right? And even when it comes to clients, like you're a startup or something, right? Initially, getting your first client might be hard,
Yes.
but for you're hungry for success, right? So you want to grow that pipeline. So again, going above and beyond, right? Not only sticking to scope of work for that client that you have, going above and beyond. If they need more, give them more, right? Because they gotta vouch for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's easier to upsell them or get that word of mouth, like that way of marketing versus acquiring a new client.
I'm so glad you're so passionate about what you're doing. And what you said, in smaller teams, you don't have to wait for approval of, or wait for anything. And that is a boon, because the quicker the decisions, the faster you fail. And the faster you fail, the quicker you learn how to be successful as well. So great answers there. To the non-profit leaders, public affairs professionals, and business executives watching, if your outreach efforts lack clear targeting and measurable results, you're leaving impact on the table. EOK Consults is helping organizations across Canada strengthen advocacy, engagement, and digital growth through data-driven campaigns, strategic advertising, and audience-focused communications. With an impressive track record in provincial and federal campaigns, EOK delivers proven results where they matter most. So are you ready to amplify your message and reach the right audience? Visit eokconsults.com to book an executive strategy session today. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll explore how organizations can scale operations and stay agile in a rapidly evolving media landscape. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back. Let's dive into the systems, processes, and strategies that help growing organizations manage expansion while maintaining impact. Now, let's look at how organizations can scale operations in a rapidly changing media landscape. So, how do you guys apply enterprise sales discipline and client success metrics to keep a growing creative agency organized and agile? Why I'm asking this is because majority of our small and medium business owners right now, when they open LinkedIn, there's just so many people doing so many things. So if I were to ask you your one main focus right now, what do you have to say about that?
I think just teeing off what she was talking about, the focus in terms of messaging discipline and choosing the channels and communities that matter to you. The biggest concern that small businesses have is that they want to be everywhere and they want to be everything.
Right.
I don't think you can succeed by being that. I think the focus has to be you got to be everything for some people on that platform. So if my audience only consumes content on Instagram, then that's the place I got to excel before I go on to other platforms. If my audience is B2B and LinkedIn is where they hang out, I got to focus on that. And if you narrow down that focus, and I think Divya was talking about narrowing down your focus, one message, one channel, one discipline, I think that has proven really successful for a lot of our clients. And I think just knowing that would be the simple piece of advice there.
Beautiful. Let's do a little time travel now. Imagine if I were to give you a time machine right now and you were to go 5 or 10 years into the future. When you get out of the time machine, how exactly do you envision artificial intelligence changing this entire media landscape?
I can go first. Feel free to comment and add it. But I think with AI, it's going to be that fundamental layer of information that is going to change the world. Of course, I would say a lot of people are still figuring out that is that a tool, is that a technique, is that a channel? I think it's a fundamental layer. It's like the internet. It was the backbone of so many other things that got built on top of it. So knowing that artificial intelligence is going to be here for a long time is definitely the first of acknowledging that is going to be there. Now, the next question becomes how can I use and build on that is going to be the second. The media landscape is only going to get more busy because now, just like internet, it provided opportunities to a lot of people to come up with new things.
Right.
On the whole, the society would potentially benefit from internet, I would believe. You're able to do those things, medical innovations and all that stuff. So same way as a layer of architecture in this world, AI would enable innovation, but that will also lead to a lot of competition. Right? Innovation always does that. If you can do something, I can do that.
Of course.
5 other people can do that. So the media landscape is going to get competitive. It's going to get harder to get your message out. But at the same time, the ones who are able to play those levers and figure out the ways to use it to their advantage are the ones who are going to win.
Definitely. With AI, I think there's this level playing field for everyone now, right? So what do you have to say about that?
I would say it's an era of change,
Yeah.
right? Just like Harneet said, internet, right? Like people are not going to, stop going to libraries, researching through tons of books and pages, encyclopedia, whatnot. So here, if used right, it can help small businesses and organizations be more productive, help them scale up, right? And grow faster and by getting things done faster. Again, if used right? And again, having said that, acceptance is key here because a lot of people, I feel, haven't accepted that because they're like, oh, how can something replace human mind, right? But it's for their own good. But again, technology comes with its own boon and ban, right? So
Definitely. That's a very well balanced answer. I think 10 years from now, we might be having our own digital avatars as well, right? Who are running the campaigns on our behalf. I'm loving this conversation today, and definitely we'd love for you guys to be back, hopefully, for a deeper discussion the next time. But for today, before we let you go, if there's one final piece of advice that you have for our listeners today, specifically something that you'd want to remember about giving back to the community. If you could whisper one thing into their ears, what would you say and why? Divya, do you want to go first?
sure, yeah, I think Harneet already explained this by an example, but just to the audience, I'd say, as a small organization, small business, regardless which industry you're in, you have big goals. Break it down into smaller ones. Pick one channel, pick your one audience, and just work on that, be consistent, and you'll win.
Beautiful. How about you,
I
Harneet?
think going back to your community question, how can small businesses do that? I think every business, regardless of if you're a small company or a large company, if you're a content creator, you're an influencer, everybody today, if you like it or you don't, you're in the business of community marketing. If you have a community of people who like you and support you, your business will grow. Every company wants to have top fans. Every company wants to have people who support their product and their business. That's why all of these large companies have those amazing product launches and keynote presentations. They all want fans of their product. Nobody just wants customers anymore. So if you're a small business, even if you're starting out, you might think, I just need the first customer to survive. Sure, but build a community and the customers would come. So that's my take.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Harneet. Divya, it was such a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for doing this with
Thanks for
us.
having us.
All right, that was Harneet Singh and Divya Singh from EOK Consults, a masterclass in breaking down the mechanics of an 86 provincial win rate, utilizing the Municipal Masterclass framework to drive cross-sector collaboration and understanding how lean non-profits command attention in overcrowded digital markets in 2026. To all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning into the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and visit CanadianSME.ca for more such resources. To learn more about how we are supporting the ecosystem beyond the platform, please visit the Canadian SME Small Business Foundation at smbfoundation.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our partners, UPS, our shipping partner, and ADP, our HR partner, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses across Canada. I'll see you all in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.